So, I wanted to do this video. Been meaning to make one for a while, but kept getting sidetracked. Why do I advocate the Venus Project in Zeitgeist Movement? Why do I advocate a resource-based global economy? What's wrong? Well, nothing's wrong with me. It's not just because it can work today, if everybody could just agree. It's not just because we have to do it because we're destroying the planet, destroying our bodies, destroying our health, destroying our minds. It's not just because of that. It's not just because we're heading into a police state worldwide. It's not just that. I grew up in Detroit, Michigan, and the neighborhood that I grew up in, pretty much the entire neighborhood was surrounded by factories, just 24/7 pumping out smog, just all the time. And there, I was the only one that had two parents that loved each other, didn't fight with each other, and were not abusive. Nobody else really had that, at least not to my knowledge. And I always was the unpopular one, the loser, the geek, the nerd. You name it, I was called it. So that's the environment I grew up in. Mind you, that's nothing compared to Africa or the Middle East, but nobody deserves that. I mean, seriously, nobody deserves that. I can't even imagine growing up in, you know, in Africa or the Middle East. Detroit was bad enough as it is. I have enough issues as it is. So I can't even imagine that. But nobody deserves that. And I also call myself a juggalo. If you don't know what that is, you can look it up. But the philosophy is very simple. Do unto others as you want done to yourself. There are only human problems. Everything else is an illusion. And 3, screw what everybody else thinks of you. What do you think of you? Which is pretty much what Zeitgeist advocates. And that's the real reason. It's not just the practicality and whatnot. It's not just the need for a new system. I have a personal interest in making sure that people don't grow up in a place like Detroit. I may not have many resources, I may not be that smart, but I can make a video and I can say, this is worth advocating. I can do that. I wish I could do more. Maybe one day I will. But at the moment, I do not have much ability, much mobility. But I will not be intimidated. And that's why I advocate the Zeitgeist Movement. Other than that, clown love to all, and to all, a good night.